What if everything you've been taught about reality is incomplete? Imagine a way of seeing the world that transcends us versus them, good versus bad, and even self versus other. What if the boundaries we cling to aren't as solid as they appear, and beyond them lies a freedom we've never truly known? Today, we'll explore a teaching that has challenged philosophers, mystics, and seekers for centuries, the radical yet simple truth of non-duality. A truth that says, separation is an illusion. The illusion of separation. We live in a world built upon divisions. We think in pairs, good and bad, right and wrong, success and failure, me and you. From childhood, we're taught to categorize everything. We learn to draw mental lines, placing experiences into neat boxes so we can feel safe and certain. But in that very act of labeling, something subtle happens. We begin to lose sight of the underlying unity of life. Think about it. The moment you label someone as different, your mind creates distance. When you call something bad, you resist it. When you call something good, you cling to it. And this tug of war becomes the pattern of our lives, chasing one side, avoiding the other. Dualistic thought, this constant comparison and judgment, is the lens through which most of humanity perceives the world. It's how we navigate, how we make meaning, yet it's also how we suffer. Because duality divides what is whole. We say light versus dark, yet both are needed for vision to exist. We say birth and death, yet one gives meaning to the other. We say self and other, but where, truly, does one end and the other begin? Modern society reinforces this fragmentation. Social media thrives on comparison. Who's better, richer, happier? Politics fuels polarization. This side versus that side. Even spirituality sometimes divides. Awakened versus asleep, enlightened versus ignorant. We've built entire identities on these opposites, forgetting that they're merely mental constructs, two sides of the same coin. And so, the illusion of separation becomes the foundation of our perception. But what if it isn't real? Beyond the either, or what non-duality truly means. To understand non-duality, we must first let go of the idea that it's a belief or philosophy. It's not something to accept intellectually. It's a recognition, a direct seeing, that everything we perceive as separate is in essence one. Non-duality means not two, but it doesn't deny the existence of apparent differences. The ocean doesn't deny the waves, it is the waves. The sun doesn't deny the shadow, both are part of the dance of light. And in the same way, non-duality doesn't erase your individuality or your unique perspective. It simply reveals that beneath the surface, you are inseparable from everything around you. Imagine standing by the sea. Each wave rises and falls, distinct yet inseparable from the water. No wave can exist apart from the ocean, and yet, when you focus too closely, it seems like it does. That's how most of us live, identifying as a single wave, fearful of crashing, proud when we rise. But when we awaken to non-dual awareness, we remember, we were never separate from the ocean to begin with. This is not a mystical abstraction. It's the most natural state of being. When you see that the thinker and the thought, the observer and the observed, the inside and the outside are all one seamless field of awareness, a deep peace arises. Because in that moment, the fight ends. The mind no longer needs to choose sides. You stop asking which is right, and begin to see the perfection of both. Non-duality invites us to see that opposites don't cancel each other out. They complete each other. Life and death, joy and sorrow, form and emptiness, all flow from the same source. As the Tao Te Ching says, when people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. The wise understand this paradox, that the world of opposites exists only within thought, not within the totality of life itself. Everyday non-dual living, practical shifts in perspective. So, how does this understanding translate into daily life? How can non-duality move from a profound idea to a lived experience? Let's start with something simple, stress. When we're caught in dualistic thought, stress arises from resistance. This shouldn't be happening. I need to fix this. I must become better. But what if there was no wrong moment, just the unfolding of life as it is? When you stop dividing experience into good or bad, something miraculous happens. Suffering begins to dissolve. In relationships, the non-dual perspective is transformative. Instead of seeing others as separate entities with whom you must compete, defend, or compare, you begin to perceive a shared field of consciousness, a mirror reflecting itself. The anger you feel toward someone becomes an invitation to understand the same energy within yourself. Their pain becomes your compassion. Their joy becomes your joy. This is not poetic idealism. It's a direct experience when the me and you dissolve into simple awareness. And then there's mindfulness, the doorway to non-dual realization. When you rest your attention in the present moment, without labeling, judging, or resisting, the illusion of separation quietly fades. The sound of the birds, the warmth of your breath, the hum of distant traffic, all arise within the same awareness that perceives them. You realize everything you experience is happening in consciousness, not to you. And in that realization, peace is no longer something you seek. It's what remains when seeking ends. The profound freedom of letting go. At the heart of non-duality lies an immense freedom, the freedom of not needing to define or control everything. When you stop categorizing experiences as good or bad, life regains its natural flow. You no longer cling to pleasure or resist pain. Both are simply movements within the same whole. This letting go is not apathy. It's aliveness. It's the freedom to fully engage with life without being trapped by it. We spend so much energy trying to manage reality, labeling, analyzing, deciding who's right and who's wrong. But the more tightly we hold on to our labels, the more we suffer. When we finally release them, something unexpected happens. The world doesn't fall apart. It becomes luminous. You start to see beauty in imperfection, wisdom in uncertainty, strength in vulnerability. Because you're no longer fighting the flow, you are the flow. Non-duality teaches that there is no other to resist. Every moment, every person, every event is part of the same unfolding consciousness. So the person who criticizes you, the challenge you're facing, the fear that arises, all are invitations from the same source to see beyond the illusion of division. In this realization, love becomes natural, because love is what remains when the illusion of separation ends. Even death, the greatest divider of all, loses its sting. For what truly dies? The form changes, but the essence remains untouched. As Nisargadatta Maharaja said, "You are not the body is in you." When you see that the entire world, including your own sense of self, appears within awareness, then even loss becomes a transformation, not an ending. Your unified reality, a call to deeper understanding. So how do we begin to live from this understanding? Not by adopting new beliefs, but by watching our old ones dissolve. Notice the mind's constant habit of splitting everything, success and failure, right and wrong, this and that. Then, instead of reacting, simply observe. Allow both sides to exist without choosing. In that silent observation, a shift occurs from division to wholeness. Next time you feel anger, don't label it as bad. See it as a wave in the ocean of awareness, temporary yet inseparable from peace. Next time you feel joy, don't cling to it. Recognize it as another ripple of the same ocean. And slowly, you'll begin to sense that beneath every experience, pleasant or painful, lies the same still presence. That presence is what you truly are. Non-duality isn't about becoming more spiritual. It's about seeing reality more clearly. It's not about rejecting the world, but embracing it so completely that no boundary remains. It's the recognition that everything, your thoughts, your emotions, the stars in the sky, all arise in one vast, infinite field of being. When you glimpse this unity, even for a moment, you'll understand why sages throughout history have spoken of liberation, not as something attained, but as something remembered. Because you were never separate to begin with. So as you go about your day, experiment with this seeing. Notice the spaces where your mind divides, and instead of choosing a side, rest in the awareness that holds both. In that space, compassion grows, understanding deepens, and life begins to flow effortlessly again. Non-duality isn't a philosophy to master. It's the truth of what's already here, waiting for you to recognize it. Thank you for joining me in this exploration. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on it. Maybe pause before reacting, or look at someone today and see beyond the labels. You might be surprised to find the one you're looking at has never been separate from you at all. Until next time, may you rest in the peace of your own unified being.